In this video, I'd like to cover the basics of MCT oil, and some folks actually believe it can have miraculous effects on the body. It has recently come to fame for a number of reasons, but primarily because of something called bulletproof coffee or butter coffee. And if you don't know what that is, I do have a video on that as well, and I'll put the link in the video notes. So what is MCT oil? MCT stands for Medium Chain Triglycerides. And per Wikipedia, medium chain triglycerides are triglycerides whose fatty acids have an aliphatic tail of 6 to 12 carbon atoms. The fatty acids found in MCTs are called medium chain fatty acids. Like all triglycerides, MCTs are composed of a glycerol backbone and 3 fatty acids. In the case of MCTs, 2 or 3 of the fatty acid chains attached to glycerol are of medium length. So, what does that mean? Well, this really doesn't make much difference. But just know that you have long chain fatty acids, short chain fatty acids, and medium chain fatty acids, and obviously these are medium chain. What is the origin of MCTs? So primarily, at least how you would normally get MCT oil in a pure form, it's derived from either and or coconut and palm oil. MCT can also be found in butter and other high-fat dairy products from grass-fed cows and goats, although the percentage found in those compared to coconut and palm oils is very small. So if you buy MCT oil, 99% of the time, if not 100%, it's going to be from either coconut and or palm oil. So I've seen some confusion about MCT versus coconut oil. Most of the MCT oil you find on the market is derived from coconut oil, and so which leads some people to think that it's one and the same. It's actually not. So coconut oil is not 100% MCTs. It's roughly 60% MCTs, okay? And of these 60% of MCTs, that's comprised of 3 acids: lauric acid, caprylic acid, and capric acid. Pure MCT is much more easily and quickly digested than coconut oil. Unlike the rest of what you would find in coconut oil, MCTs are metabolized in the liver almost immediately. It's pure and immediate energy. Also, unlike the other components of coconut oil, MCTs cannot be stored as fat. Your body either has to use it for immediate energy or expelled by the body. And this is important to know, and I'll cover some of the applications and uses of MCT oil. But if you decide to integrate this into your diet, you need to be careful to start out slow and get your body used to it. If you drink too much or have too much in the beginning, just like that last bullet suggests, either you use it for energy or you expel it by the body. So drink too much, your body can't metabolize it as fast because you're not quite used to it, and so it will just kind of flush you out. So why MCT oil? Why not just coconut oil? Well, MCTs don't need bile or pancreatic enzymes. Once they reach your intestine, they diffuse through your intestinal membrane into your bloodstream and are transported directly to your liver, which naturally converts the oil into ketones. And again, in some of my other videos, the paleo videos, the bulletproof or butter coffee videos, I talk about ketones. Ketones are something your body produces, and it acts sort of like the alternative to glucose. If your body is short on carbohydrates, your body, instead of producing glucose for energy, it will produce ketones. So it converts the oil into ketones. Your liver then releases the ketones back into your bloodstream, where they are transported throughout your body. They can even pass the blood-brain barrier to supply your brain with energy. MCTs also have a thermogenic effect, which has a positive effect on your metabolism. Again, just to reiterate, MCTs are used for energy. They're not stored as fat. Now, so here's the crux of everything here. So what are the health benefits of MCT oils? Well, as I've stated a couple of times, they're a great source of immediate energy. They also have antiviral and antibacterial properties and can also help balance gut bacteria. They have a very strong blood sugar stabilizing effect that helps to reduce inflammation and improve brain function. They help suppress appetite, improve fat metabolism, and decrease body fat. It improves cognitive performance and helps eliminate brain fog. And this cognitive performance goes back to that blood-brain barrier transition. So the ketones are able to be utilized by the brain much more effectively than in many cases, glucose. And then, as I said before, it does have quite a bit of anti-inflammatory properties. So some of the common applications I talked about, the bulletproof and butter coffee. So again, I have a video that talks about bulletproof coffee, but basically it's where you mix a really good organic coffee with MCT oils and grass-fed butter. And there's a number of benefits. I personally drink that for breakfast every day. I have for almost 3 years now. And the butter and the combination of the butter and the MCT oil really helps to curb my appetite. And so I normally go 18 hours between my dinner and my lunch. So I eat dinner around 6, I go to bed, wake up, drink my bulletproof coffee, and then have lunch around noon or so. And that bulletproof coffee, the butter coffee with the MCTs, really makes it so much easier for me to last until lunch, and it gives me a great boost of energy in the morning as well. You can also use MCTs as cooking oil. It does have a fairly high heat point, so you can do that. You can use it as salad dressing. So MCT oil really has virtually no flavor, no smell. So you could mix it with other oils. You could make it like with a vinaigrette, or there's some other kind of oil-based salad dressing. You can just use MCT oil instead of, say, your olive oil or vegetable oil or whatever the case is. It does have some beauty applications, skin moisturizer, and some other anti-aging properties. So in baking, you can use it in place of butter and other oils. This is especially true if you're making pastries of some sort, but in any kind of baking that calls for oil or butter, you can use the MCT. Should be for a 1-for-1 trade-off. So if you're going to use 1 cup of butter or 1 cup of oil, you can use 1 cup of MCT. You can also add it to smoothies and other drinks. Or I know some folks who just consume 1 teaspoon to 1 tablespoon per day. They just sip it up, and again, it has virtually no flavor and no smell. I've heard some people say if you do it that way, though, you might get a little bit of a bad aftertaste, or not aftertaste, but kind of a burping sensation. So if you're going to just sort of drink it like that, maybe put it in some milk or some other kind of liquid to help to wash it down a little bit. And so that's really everything about MCT oil. Again, I've used it in my daily routine for 2 or 3 years now, and I swear by it. As far as where you can find it, just about anywhere. You can go on Amazon and search MCT oil, and you'll find, probably a dozen, if not more, different brands and types. The biggest thing is don't be fooled by the hype. Most MCT oils are of high-grade quality. Some of them will say, well, it's more caprylic acid than lauric acid. At least in the beginning, just get an economical version of MCT oil, one that you can afford. Amazon has a pretty good sized, I believe, 32-ounce bottle for less than $20, and that'll last you for a couple of months at least. So give that a shot. And if you decide you want to start using it on a regular basis, then maybe you might want to step up to a so-called more advanced or premium MCT oil. But I've used the same version for, like I said, 2 or 3 years. And it's the one I have in the picture here. It's the Now brand MCT oil. And I found it's typically the cheapest as well. It gets great reviews. I've never had any problems out of it. I've tried other brands just to see if there was a difference, and I couldn't tell a difference. I even tried one that was 3 times the cost of this brand, and I couldn't tell any difference. So I just went back to this one. So, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Learned a little bit about MCT oil. Um, is it a panacea for everything? No. But there's a lot of research and research that's going on even now that's suggesting there's a lot of health benefits, even more than I mentioned in this video about MCT oil. And coconut oil is certainly on a sort of a fad right now. Everyone's pushing coconut oil, which is odd because I remember when I was younger, 20 years ago or so, coconut oil was sort of the quote unquote worst fat you could consume. And now it's sort of come full circle, and everyone calls it the miracle oil. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments.